Hello guys, let's talk today about this 4K camera from Amcrest. This is a 4K or 8 megapixel camera. As you can see, it also has PoE, which stands for Power over Ethernet, so you can power your camera using just a single cable, right? I've been reading the specs here and I think they are pretty good. As you can see here, there's a lot of information about the specs, okay? So basically here, as you can see, there's the night color, AI, here active deterrent, which means there's a siren, okay, and also a built-in mic, so you can listen when people are close to the camera. You can also record into SD card in the cloud, also into an NVR or your computer. Okay, it can detect motion and it works basically with AI with analytics. Okay, pretty good. So you have two lights here, as you can see, and can illuminate during the night, so you see during the night like this. Let me show you here. Here we go, with color, right? So there's color during the night because you have light to illuminate, and the camera has a good sensor and can work with color, right? So here's some specs, and let me just read and explain to you what they mean. So basically you see here the 4K option, which stands for the resolution, right? And then you have smart motion detection, so you can record only when there's motion. When you have a card inside of the camera, you just want to record by motion, so you can save space inside of your card, right? And also the active deterrent here, that's the siren. Here the perimeter detection, it's an AI, you can draw a perimeter and the camera can record only when there's actions or motion inside of the perimeter. Okay, two-way talk, so you can talk because there's a microphone and also a speaker. You can talk and somebody can also talk close to the camera, so it's two-way communication. You talk and listen at the same time. And flexible storage, as I was saying, with the SD card, cloud, and NVR or computer recording. And here is starlight. The camera works during the night with night color. 8 to 65, very important, that's the compression. The camera can compress a lot, which means you can have your SD card storing for extra days, right? Because the compression is very, very good. And also the wide view angle here with 125 degrees, so you can see a large area, right? So pretty good. So enough with this box. I have the camera here, so I'll just bring the camera, unbox it, and you can see more details, okay? So let's go, let's unbox it. So here you go, that's what you get, okay, when you unbox the camera. A lot of paperwork here with 2 years warranty, which is pretty good. Okay, of course, you need to have warranty for your camera. So this one is pretty good. And also have some important information here about firmware, so you need to update the firmware on the camera. And you have tools to open the camera or open here, adjust the camera, because I have here this place that you can adjust it, right? And something about we love you, things like that, okay? So pretty good. And also here you have this template, so you can install your camera using the template. Quick start guide, which is pretty good. So you can install your camera using the start guide, and 1 month free Amcrest cloud subscription. Okay, you can subscribe to the cloud and record it there, right? So enough of this paperwork. You have here this tool to adjust the camera. In here, also comes with this thing here, which protects your cables, right? So if the camera stays outdoor in the rain, it protects the cable. And also here some screws and anchors, so you can install your camera, have everything that you need to get the camera installed and start working, right? So let's take a look at the camera itself. So here we go. You have the lens here in the center. So that's the lens with a wide angle. You can see 125 degrees, so it's a large area that you can monitor. And here you have the lights, so you can see during the night. You have the microphone. Okay, and it's a turret camera, which means you can move the camera like this and adjust the position. Okay, you can just adjust the camera the way you want to and leave it there, monitoring whatever you want, right? And here you have the speaker, and here the space to insert the SD card, and also reset the camera if you lose the password. Just need to open here and reset the password here, reset the camera, so you can recover if you lost the password, right? So it's pretty good. And here, what else we have? We have the cables, right? So basically network cable, you connect here and you power the camera because it has PoE, power over Ethernet. And also you can use power supply if you want to. Connect the power supply here and power your camera. I usually don't use that because I power the camera using the network cable. It's much better have just one cable powering the camera. And here you have audio. So audio out, which means you can connect an extra speaker, an external speaker. And you also have here audio in. Okay, so you can connect an extra microphone, an external microphone. And also cables for alarms. So it's more on the professional side with alarms and audio, external speaker. You can have whatever you want here with this camera. Pretty good. Installation also pretty easy. You just need to remove this part, connect to a wall or to a ceiling, whatever you're installing your camera. Usually a ceiling, okay? So you can install your camera in this position here, and the camera can look down, and then you adjust the way you want here by just moving it into the position, okay? And you see the Amcrest logo, the way, and here the screw to adjust and let the camera installed in its place, okay? So it's pretty good. I like this camera at first, and I'm gonna test it and see the images on my computer. So let's do it. Okay, so here we go, testing the camera outdoors. As you can see, I have the camera there. That's just a reflection of the camera. I have it on a tripod just for testing, okay, via web browser. As you can see, that's the first image of the camera. I have some dark areas, some bright areas. I can adjust that. This is the main menu, okay? You have a mainstream, substream to use to record the camera in my NVR, and also send substream here for a cell phone, for example. Let's just come here on the setup. So see the menu. You have a lot of different configuration here for camera, network, event, storage, and system, and also some information about the camera. Okay, let's just take a look at the configuration of the camera at first. Okay, there's a lot of menu. It's hard to go over every one of them. Okay, just an overview here, especially with the camera configuration related to picture. You can come here and adjust brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, and gamma. You can mirror the camera. Let's say, for example, you're using an elevator with a mirror. You can mirror the camera here. You can also flip the camera in different positions, 180 degrees, for example, okay? So you can also reset to the default. The camera comes back the way it was. And then you have exposure. You can control anti-flicker, outdoor, indoor. Here in US, you use 60 Hertz, for example, for flicker. Okay, so if the camera is like flickering the image, you can just adjust the camera according to the hertz here on your country, right? There's the mode. You can adjust shutter and manual adjustment for a project that it demands those type of adjustment. You have also noise reduction, BLC mode. That's very interesting. Okay, let me just change here, for example, from BLC when it's off to WDR. That's the one I like the most. That's the wide dynamic range. You see the difference here in the image, right? Let me just save so you can see it better. When I go here to live, we can see it again, or better yet, I can bring the software here. We can see from the software. Here we go. Okay, with the software, you can just add your camera and you can start recording if you want to as well. And then you can use the web browser just for the configuration, just like I'm doing here. You see the WDR with the difference it makes. Let me just come here to set up again. Here we go, backlight compensation mode, BLC, WDR. Let me just increase a little bit to 100%. Let's see how it works. So you see the difference here in the image now. You see better here in the dark areas. You see better here in the bright areas as well. Let me just save this image because it's pretty good now, right? And sometimes if it's too much, you can just reduce a little bit. Let's say here with 70 something percent. Let's say 73, that's good. And save. And here we go. Have the image here. Very good. Let's just compare again when I change to off. You see dark areas here, bright area here. So WDR really works pretty well. Look at the difference here without it and with WDR. Let's save again, remove this so you can see it better. Takes a while and you see much better, right? And here we go. With WDR is very good, and also have white balance to control colors. Day and night, you can control the way the camera works during the night. You can also turn on and turn off the lights. Defog, if you have a scenario with fogs, you can defog the image using this one. LDC, and let's see more here, video. So you have mainstream and substream for cell phones or something that has low bandwidth. You can use this one. And here for recording with quality into SD card and NVR, the mainstream. You can also record audio. Network basic stuff, TCP/IP, IP address, peer-to-peer. If you want to connect the camera directly via cell phone, no port forwarding, you can come here to P2P, right? Connection, so you can change the TCP ports, use OnVIF to record in a different system, RTMP to send to platforms like YouTube, for example. DDNS, so you can have a name to connect to your camera, IP filter to protect, connect just trusted devices, SMTP, send emails to different platforms. UPnP, you can connect to your router, and if your router has UPnP, you don't need to port forward. You just need to use UPnP, and the router does the job itself. Connection for HTTPS, for secure connection. Events, we have a lot of them. Video detection, smart motion detection, audio detection. Smart plan, so you can set up a plan to use IVS, okay? That's AI, video analytics, right? So you have alarms, you can enable all the alarms. Abnormality, you can like say, oh, my SD card is full or there's some error or something, you can have an alarm, okay? Capacity warning and network also, if it's disconnected, if there's an IP conflict, illegal access by somebody. Disarming also, can disarming relays and emails, siren, storage. You can schedule the way you want to record. You can also have holiday schedule, snapshot schedule. Destination can record to the SD card, to the FTP and NAS server in your network. So here the configuration for SD card, FTP and NAS. You have your username and password when you enable here. Then you can have the NAS working. I don't have a NAS here in the network right now. So record control, overwrite, it's much better. It records and the card is full, it deletes the oldest recording, so you can keep recording more. Cloud storage, you can enable cloud storage here, then you go with Amcrest, you create your account, you can have your data saved there on their cloud, right? And system, it's the basic, general, date and time, languages, and manage users. You can add user, remove users, change privileges. Default settings, you can reset your camera to default settings. Import, export configuration. Auto maintenance, you can auto reboot or auto delete old files, so you can do also manual reboot of your camera. And upgrade to new firmwares and new information, version, logs, and online users that are connected to the camera, okay? Sorry guys to go so fast over the menus because you have a lot of them, okay? I can stay all day long here explaining every single menu. If you need to understand all of them, it's like a long video, right? So I just can't do a long video like that. So you can just take a look at your camera. It's a pretty good one. I recommend it, right? So you can take a look at every single menu and use what you need for your project, right? Especially if you have like professional project, this camera is a professional camera. You can work with projects like that, right? So that's it. Just a quick overview of this camera. I like it and I recommend it.